Good morning, OTG. I think I am live, so I'm going to get stuck straight in today. Hopefully I will be able to see some of you joining in, and if you are tuning in live, please leave me a comment so I can see that you guys are there and listening in. Welcome to week 2 of our Road to Ruby training. My name is Sherilyn Brace and I have been in the business now for over 8 years. It's a real privilege to be asked to be speaking on one of these leadership calls that we're hosting over the next week. We had a fantastic week last week with 5 incredible leaders. I hope that you all managed to tune in and learn so much from them. I know I certainly did. And this week we've got an incredible schedule for you with lots of training topics to help you really get under the skin of what it takes to be a leader and just really learn about how you can develop yourself personally to have success within this business. But before I get stuck in, I'd love to share a little bit about my story and give you a bit of my background, because I know that when I joined the business 8 years ago, one thing that helped me to, understand how to do the business, but really feel confident in sharing what I was doing, was hearing other people's success stories and what their backgrounds were and how they decided to join the business and have success, and ultimately how they managed to fit it in around their current commitment. So when I was approached about this business over 8 years ago now, I was working full-time for a radio company, a media company, and my job was running events, working in marketing and getting to grips with social media. When I joined my previous job back in 2009, Instagram was not even a thing. Like, Facebook had only just been launched for a few years, but part of my job was to learn how to do social media and marketing. And I genuinely felt like I didn't just have a job. I felt like I had a career that I was going to be doing for the rest of my life, and I enjoyed it. I felt fulfilled with it. But then when I found out about this business opportunity, something just lit a spark within me where it created this curiosity that I didn't really realize that I'd had. I thought I was fulfilled in my full-time career. And then when I looked at actually what was offered with this business, and being a woman, you know, we have so much on us. We are trying to be successful women, have careers, have families, and I just love the idea of being able to build something for myself alongside a hectic full-time job. And then when the time felt right, if and when it did, I would eventually leave that full-time job and I'd have built up a successful business alongside that. And back in 2020, I managed to leave my full-time job, and I've now been doing this business full-time ever since. And I can genuinely confidently say that this business has made me a better version of myself, more aligned, more confident, less stress, more focus on self-care, looking after myself, but also looking after the people that I work with in this business. And I just think that when you do something that you love and that you're passionate about, it just creates this vibration and this magneticism that makes other people attracted to what it is that you're doing. So I just wanted to share that, because some of you might be in the position now where you're working in a full-time job and you genuinely enjoy what you do, and you're then trying to juggle fitting this in alongside that. And the reason why I did this is what's continued to get me to where I am right now. I always had this burning desire to want more. I love the idea of having freedom and flexibility within my schedule, and having been able to do this for the last 8 years, I genuinely feel like we are all in such an exciting position right now with all of the market launches that we've got happening, product launches with Prism. We are at such an exciting point in the business. So even if you're new watching this, I feel like you'll hopefully take away so many tips and tricks to help you build a successful business, but also how to fit this into a busy schedule. And this is something that I learned to do, you know, really early on in the business. And one thing that I love and I strove to do was to be part of this leadership team within the UK. I remember when I first joined, I used to see these leaders coming on Facebook and sharing their stories, and I used to think to myself, wow, how incredible. Like, would I ever be confident enough to do that? Will I ever be, you know, skilled enough to be able to share my story on a stage like this? And you know, I set that as one of my goals. I wanted to be part of this. I wanted to link arms with other leaders who were doing this business and having success, and I just wanted to be able to soak up everything they had to say and to learn from them. And this is such an amazing position to be in. So as Louise and the other leaders mentioned last week, we've created this this group, this Ruby Plus leadership team, as a way to be able to link arms with people who have reached that pinnacle, that incredible title within the business. They're becoming leaders and they're creating leaders. And we've created this group so that we can all create alignment. And we have a really, really big goal by 2030. And that is to have 1,500 brand reps in the UK. So let that just sink in for a minute. 1,500 brand reps in the UK. I don't actually even think that sounds like such a big number when we've got over 15,000 people in this group chat. And not only that, we want these people to have stability within their business. So we want 1,500 stable brand reps who are doing 5,000 GSV in volume every single month, with over 80% of that on subscription. So if you don't know about that goal, jot it down now, get it into your notebook, get it onto your vision board. As a collective market, this is what we really want to focus on doing. And I absolutely believe that we can do that, especially with Prism and everything that's happening at the moment. We're already the number one for participation in the Prism launch. And I only feel that we're going to build on that. And that lends itself perfectly to the subscription model. So I believe that we can do this. And if you are on this call watching right now, I want to know if you believe that you can be part of that as well. And I want to see you commenting and letting us know if you want to be part of that vision and that goal. And this is all going to stem from what we do right now. So 2030 is the goal to get that done. But what are we going to do between now and then to build our habits, become successful, and ultimately create consistency within our teams so that our team members who are joining us know how to do exactly the same thing. We've got a proven system for us with System 7. You know, it's simple enough, it's easy to duplicate, but I do believe that when things are sometimes too simple, people just don't bother doing it. And I will admit, you know, when I joined the business, trying to stay consistent was one of the hardest struggles that you have, especially when you are trying to do a full-time job and then you're fitting something additional into very small pockets of time that you have, maybe around a full-time job, maybe around being a parent. And I ultimately believe that when I got started, the thing that I found the easiest was just being super organized with the pockets of time that I had. And having less time, I think, actually sometimes makes you more productive because you know that you've got a very, very small window of time to get something done. So what I want to talk to you about today is our 90-day sprint tracker. Now, if you watched Louisa's training last week, she did a phenomenal explanation into what this tracker is, why it's so important, talking about how it's going to align us all as a marketplace and help us get towards that goal. So if you haven't seen it, we will pop a link into this. I'll pop a link on the live afterwards so you can download it from there, but it is in the group. This is the tracker. It does say 30-day, but you just want to print this off 3 times. And what this document is going to do is it's going to help us stay accountable and give us daily visibility over what we're doing. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, why is that important? You know, why is it important to track what I'm doing? How will it help me get towards my goals? When you have something written down and you're physically filling it in every day, there is no way that you can't have visibility over what it is that you're doing. So I've been working with a group of leaders already, and we have already been doing this for almost 30 days. We've been already working on the document every single day, sharing our accountability into a group chat where we're all having this collective energy and alignment. And we've only been doing this as a relatively small group. Can you even imagine the alignment we can all create and the energy and the shared vision when we're all doing this together? It will be amazing to have everyone working on this document, creating consistency every day. And this isn't a document that you're doing for us. This is something that you're doing for yourself, for your business, and to achieve your own goals. And I genuinely believe that when you've got something written down, you're more likely to do it. but you're also getting visibility over what the actions are that you're staying accountable with, and also visibility over what you're not doing. And I think it's what you're not doing that's the most important thing, because then you can see how you can improve on that and get 1% better each and every day. So if you haven't got the tracker, please, I urge you to print it off after this call, but it's super simple. You've got on the first page a goal setting page where you can write down what your goals are and what you'd like to achieve in this period, and then you can tick off every day that you've done. I've just printed off a fresh one so I could go through it with you today, but this is really helping me stay accountable every single day. But it's also helping me become a better leader. When I'm looking at what my team who are participating are doing, I can really easily support them and say, hey, you know, you've done fantastically today, but you've missed out on maybe doing a presentation, or why don't you try and integrate some prism scans this week? And it gives me visibility as their mentor to be able to guide and coach them on the areas that they're missing out on, or help them develop the areas that they are doing and make them more successful. So it's a fantastic tool, not just for you, but it's a fantastic tool to help your team achieve what they want to achieve within this business as well. And what I will say from being in a group chat is, it's just so inspiring to see what other people are doing, seeing how they are splitting their time, what they're focusing on, what they're having success with, maybe what their challenges are. And when you're doing this all together, that collective energy helps everyone rise together. And it is just absolutely incredible for helping you stay focused, especially when the times are tough. You're not going to wake up every day and say, I'm motivated, I'm ready to go, let's do this. Sometimes you will wake up, or you will have a day that's slightly more challenging, but when you've got that camaraderie with other people that you're doing this with, and also people that you don't want to let down in this business. Like, I would never not report my goals in and never report my daily actions, because I don't want to let the team down that I've agreed to work alongside. I want to show them that I'm doing this. I want to show them that I'm taking action, and I want them to link arms and want to do this with me. So this is something that's going to help you stay accountable. If you haven't already gone through the document, what we've done is we've organized it in a way that you've got your contacts and you can track what you're doing on this side, but this side allows you to track your points and what you're doing, and we're aiming for 20 points a day. Now, you might not always achieve that. Some days you will go above and beyond, and some days you might do slightly less, but staying accountable with this every single day is better than not tracking and doing nothing, because this will show you exactly what your activity is and how you can build on that. And one of the areas I wanted to highlight today, which I feel will help give everyone more confidence when it comes to the business side of this, is on the presentation side of things. Now, I want to explain this in two ways, because there's two ways in which you can do presentations to people. In our Fast Start booklet, which there's a digital copy in the group we want to aim for doing 15 business presentations a month. Now, you might wonder what that is or what it takes to do 15. It's 15 presentations where either you or your mentor or the two of you together are going through a full business presentation with someone to give them an overview as to what it is that we're doing. Now, you can either present this yourself, you can do it as a three-way call with your mentor or one of your uplines, or you can plug them in to one of the calls that we do twice a week in this OTG UK Facebook group. So every Tuesday and every Thursday, we have a phenomenal group of leaders who come together. We host as a duo and we present the business briefing on your behalf. Now, the reason why we do this is because we are all experienced in delivering that information, and this is a fantastic tool, not just for you to be able to invite people to listen in, but also for you to listen in and learn the presentation yourself. And I remember when I first started, I had this kind of like nervous butterfly feeling in my stomach. Whenever I used to speak to someone, I used to think, I'm so excited about sharing what it is that I'm doing, but I don't really know how to articulate it confidently. And every time I would go to approach someone to speak about what it is that we were doing, I'd get this kind of like nervous butterfly feeling that would go up into my stomach, and I would feel it in my body. And one thing that I said to my mentor was, how can I get more confident in inviting people and telling people what it is that I'm doing? And she said to me, attending the trainings and the events where you can learn from other people is going to be key. But one of the best pieces of advice she gave me was to learn the business presentation. And as soon as I did, it just gave me so much more confidence in who I was speaking to, because I could articulate the trends, I could explain the products, I could explain to someone how to get started and what the compensation plan meant and how, you know, it could benefit them. And as soon as I had a basic understanding of that, it gave me this inner confidence where I genuinely felt like I could speak to anyone, anytime, any place. And that just came from listening in live to the OTG calls, learning from the different leaders that were presenting this information, doing three-way calls with one of my mentors and learning how they articulated the information. And then I was then getting more confident to do it myself. And honestly, if you were scared of this, I think it's one of those things on the daily habits that people just try and avoid because it feels scary or it feels really uncomfortable. But if I can implore you to do anything after this call, it's to start learning the presentation if you haven't already, because it will give you this inner confidence and this inner just this inner glow when it comes to talking about the business, because you will know the information and all you're doing is articulating it to someone else for them to be able to decide whether this is something that they want to do or not. You know, we're not there to convince people. We're not there to beg them to join. All we're doing is giving them an opportunity to hear what it is that we're doing and to decide if this is something that they want to get started with or not. So the goal is 15 presentations a month. And you should be able to do this alongside working full-time or having other commitments, but you just need to think about how it is that you're plugging people into these opportunities to learn. So for example, if you work a 9 till 5, you're not necessarily going to be able to invite people to listen to presentations during the day, but you do have the Tuesday and the Thursday. So as part of my daily goals, I'm writing down how many presentations I am doing, but because I do this full time, I can then link arms with my team members and help them present the information to their contacts. Or I can say to people, would you prefer to listen to a call on Tuesday or Thursday at 8 p.m? Let me know and I can send you the Zoom details. So rather than giving people, you know, all the information via WhatsApp, I just don't think that that is effective. When you can get someone onto a business presentation, they get a complete overview in 20 to 30 minutes, and they can also think about what is relevant to them. Because nobody is going to join this business when it's relevant to you. They want to know, what is the opportunity? How can I get involved? And how will it ultimately benefit me? So these business presentations are pure gold. They are incredible opportunities to leverage another leader who is more successful than you or more experienced than you to relay the information on your behalf. And I genuinely believe that if you can focus on getting to that 15 number every single month of business presentations that you are inviting people to, you will start to see this compound in your business, and you will also grow in confidence when it comes to articulating the opportunity. So we've obviously spoken about the 8 p.m. calls, Tuesdays and Thursdays, but what I also want to touch upon is the importance and the benefit of doing a three-way call. So what that would be is that might be you and one of your uplines hosting the call together, and you would invite your prospect to listen in and be part of this call with you. I absolutely love three-way calls. I think they are such a fantastic use of time, not only for you to be able to articulate the information directly to a contact who's listening in. You will do the whole business presentation to them, but you also get the opportunity to find out at the start what is important to them. So when you are articulating that information, you can tailor it based on what it is that they are interested in and what their goals are. And this part is so crucial, because when you can make it relevant to them, you can help them to understand why they might want to get involved with this. So if you haven't ever done a three-way call before, please speak to your upline or your Ruby Plus upline and ask them to explain it to you, or say to them, look, I would love to do one of these three-way calls. How can I get involved with that? What do I need to do? And I honestly believe that it's such a fantastic way to learn. And how incredible is it that we have 6 people above us that we can link arms with as our uplines and ask them to support us with this goal? Like, this is just amazing. And within my diary in particular, I do split up, not only doing 3-way calls whilst they're really important, but I also make sure that I'm getting my own presentations done to my contacts. So I'm building my contact list, but I'm also helping team members build theirs as well. And you want to do that simultaneously. You don't want to just focus on one or the other. And that's why filling out these income producing activities will help you get visibility over what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're not doing. And I always believe that with a 3-way call, it is just one of the most powerful tools to leverage your mentor and your upline to be able to share their story when maybe you're more new and you haven't quite got that success story to share yet. And I always, when I invite someone to these 3-way calls, I really set the tone and the precedence of who they're coming on a call with before I invite them onto the call, so that they know that they're going to hear from someone experienced, incredible, knowledgeable, someone that I am, learning the way from, because that is going to be so much more effective than just saying, hey, would you like to come on a 3-way call? It's with one of my uplines. You can just hear the information and, they can let you know what it's all about. That is just going to have such a lackluster response and lackluster, feel with that person. If you can then set the tone and say, I would love to invite you onto a call with one of my mentors. They are really experienced in the business. They are one of the top leaders in the UK, and they are really helping the market to learn and align and, be working as a group when it comes to this business and our opportunity. When you can edify that upline and get that tone just right and let the person know who you're inviting that this is an incredible person that they are going to listen to, it means that when they do get on that 3-way call with you and your upline, they are poised and ready to listen, and they sit up straight and they take in that information so much more effectively than if you just said, hey, I want you to come on a call with one of my mentors. You've got to set the tone. You've got to explain why this person is the most qualified person to share this information, and get the prospect excited about coming on to listen with them. And then when the call does start, you can do that 3-way edification to introduce everyone. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's in the Fast Start booklet, so have a little look or ask the person that invited you. But essentially that's just explaining to everyone and introducing who's on the call, who each individual person is, why they're on the call, and then setting up the tone of what you're going to deliver in that 3-way conversation. So it's not just inviting someone on and saying, oh, hey, this is my mentor. It's, this is my mentor, they've been in the business for X amount of years, I'd love to introduce you to them, etc., etc. Then you're introducing the prospect to your mentor, giving them a really lovely, genuine compliment, and you're setting the tone for the information that they're going to receive on that call. And I honestly will never not have 3-way calls as part of my daily activity, because it's a great way for me to also link arms with the people that are joining my business, but to help my team members to learn as well. And I know Izzy always uses this philosophy, and I absolutely love this. She helps train people with this philosophy. So it's I do. So I'm going to do one presentation on your behalf. Then the next time we do it, we're going to do it together. So we do it together. So you might do half and half of that presentation. And then the third time is you do. So you're going to deliver that information on the behalf of that prospect. And that by that point, they've had 2 opportunities to learn. And by that third time, they've got that extra boost of confidence to deliver that information themselves. So I love that philosophy, and it's absolutely something that I am putting into place within my business, because if we have that huge goal to grow all these leaders and brand reps within the UK, the only way we can do that is by duplicating System 7, creating people who have got that consistency within their daily habits, so they're creating that compound effect with what it is that they're doing. but also we're creating leaders who are able to then create leaders themselves. And that only comes when you can make people self-sufficient in what it is that they're doing. And the quicker we can teach people, the quicker they become more confident in their activities and what it is that they're doing. So I hope all of that makes sense. But if you do have any questions on the 3-way call or how to invite someone onto a business presentation, please put it in the chat and I can go through and answer any questions you've got post-call. I know some people will be listening to this on replay as well, but please look at the Fast Start booklet. It's got a really fantastic explanation of how to edify someone, how to invite someone onto the call and get you more confident in that inviting process. And this is just something that I learned how to do from the start, and 8 years on, I'm still doing it. And that's because the system is there for a reason. It's not there for us to interpret it and go, oh, I need to do a social media grid post today, but I won't bother with that. I'll just do a story. That will do. This system and these income producing activities have been designed in a way that they are going to help you to build your business when you're compounding these activities every single day. So it's not you doing your own interpretation and going, oh, I won't bother doing a business presentation today. I'll just send them a link on WhatsApp and hope for the best. Or, I'll just send them the slides as a PDF and they can read it themselves. There's no room for interpretation here. These goals and these income producing activities are set out for a reason, because these are what are going to deliver you success when you follow them to the exact entity. So with this business presentation, just sending someone a link from YouTube or just the slides is not going to cut it, because they're not going to understand how the business works if it's not explained to them. Or if you get them on a 3-way call, you've got that opportunity to learn what their goals and aspirations are and then tailor the information to them. So really key that you follow these goals and these income producing activities specifically, so that you can have success with what is going to help you build those habits. Like, one thing that I love in our accountability group is when we share our accountability at the end of the day. So what we do is we fill this in during the day, doing all of our activities, and at the end of the day we tally up our points and we type them into WhatsApp. So for example, we're aiming for 20 points every day. So my 20 points might be made up of my minimum 3 new contacts a day, minimum 3 follow-ups a day. I might do 1 point for a social media post. I might get 2 points for a Prism scan. And then my other points might come from a 3-way call with a downline, which is 3 points. And maybe I might get a personal sale in, which is 2 points. And that will also add up to your daily points. And when we do that and we report into that group, what it is doing is it's creating this incredible alignment and energy between everyone. And we are so inspired when we see somebody else having success. And, we say to somebody, oh, hey, you've been doing really great with the Prism scans. Have you got any tips you can share? And that's just so valuable when you're all aligned in your activity. And I can see a comment on here saying every person is different with different backgrounds and skills. And I completely agree with that. And I think when you're working together, you can leverage the skill set and the background from other people in that group, or even in this wider OTG community, to see how they do things and how you can learn from them. And this is such a valuable community. We've got over 15,000 people, I think, in this group, lots of different skill sets, lots of different backgrounds. And when you work together, like I can see in the comments, it really motivates everyone. I know that when I see those comments go in, I think, right, I need to get my points in, or maybe I'm a few points down today. What can I do to increase on my activity? And it just creates this lovely, driven motivation between everyone, where everyone's working together to support each other. So if you're not already in an accountability group, speak to your mentor and say that you'd like to be part of one. You can link arms with other people in the OTG community and create a group where you're going to follow the 90-day sprint tracker, and then you're going to report your activity in. Teamwork absolutely is the key to success, and it really helps you stay motivated on those days when you're just maybe struggling a little bit, or you're not feeling as motivated. Everyone has those days, but when you work together, it just lifts that collective energy, and you'll always do way better than not reporting the activity and not writing it down and not tracking it, when you've got visibility over what it is that you're doing. So I just want to finish off with a couple of things. I know we're coming to almost past now, so I don't want to keep you on here too much longer, but I believe that the secret to success is 100% 100% in our daily routine. And you might start this tracker this week and feel like, you know, you're doing all the activity, but you've not quite seen those results compounding yet. All I would implore you and urge you to do is to just stick with it. This is a 90-day tracker for a reason. You know, they say it takes 90 days to build a habit, and that's why we've done this, not just for 30 days. We've done it for 90 so we can keep building on it where it becomes a habit and this tracker becomes part of your daily routine. And one little tip that I'll give you that I like to do is I always have I've got everything printed off and I have my tracker next to my laptop. So in the morning when I come to do my work, everything is like just laid out and ready to go. You have to trust the process. This is a compound effect. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not, oh, I'm going to fill out my daily tracker today and I'm going to be a blue diamond tomorrow. No, no, no. This is daily grit, daily determination, daily activity, and those small consistent actions that you are taking every single day are going to help you get towards those goals of where you want to be, whether that's a ruby, a blue diamond, a team elite, whatever your goals are. But it all comes to the grit and determination of you being willing to stick to that daily activity. And it's so simple, guys, but it's the simple stuff that people just don't want to do. They just think, oh, you know, this is too easy, or I just won't bother with that tomorrow. I always use this analogy, and you might laugh at it, but I feel like it can give the desired effect of what I'm trying to explain. I always say to people that when you're trying to build this business and this daily consistency, it's like keeping a kettle boiling. You can, you know, let it go down to freezing cold and boil it back up again, down to cold and boil it up again. But it's so much harder to go from freezing cold to boiling point when you could just keep it simmering at a consistent level. I know you might laugh at that analogy, but I just feel like that really helps you to understand it. It's better to keep that kettle and that activity simmering and consistent than going up and down and up and down, because when you go up and down and your activity goes up and down, your motivation and your mood and your aspirations for what you're doing will also go up and down and feel a bit erratic. So keep it consistent. Stay focused on what you're doing every single day with small daily actions. Fit it in around the time that you've got. Don't be distracted with what other people are doing. This is your business and you're allowed to fit it in your way, but this proven system for success will help you with that daily consistency. And I just wanted to finish by drawing your attention to two really incredible events that we've got coming up over the next couple of months. Well, the first is our gold standard fast start trainings on the Saturday, the 7th of March. They are all up and down the UK. So we've got Dublin, Glasgow, Leicester and London. There will be a post going into OTG later this afternoon with all of the locations and the ticket links. So not only you can book on, but you can make sure your guests are invited, because they'll be able to listen to a business presentation at the start. And then if they'd like to stay on for the training part afterwards, they're more than welcome. But that you've also reached out to all of your team members and new starters, and that they are coming to this event and they feel the importance of it. I know I am definitely aligned in the rest of the UK leaders with this. We would not be where we are if we weren't attending events. We would not have learnt to the level we would have learnt to. We would have not have built that confidence, and we would not be the leaders that we are today if we had not been attending these local events, online events, watching trainings, soaking up every opportunity to learn from someone more successful than you. And then we also have in May our incredible Success Summit in Marbella. This is the weekend of the 23rd of May. This event and training is like nothing you have ever experienced. It's in Marbella to start with, and you know, what more would you want? It's an incredible location. The event is full of so much energy. You not only get to learn from the UK leaders, but our collective European OTG community. And we always have some global leaders and corporate flying in as well. So if you haven't got those two things in your diary, please get them in your diary. Please speak to your teams about them, and let's align as a UK market. Let's go and smash that 2030 goal that we've got. And thank you so much for listening. I am so honoured to have been doing this training with you today, and I hope that you found this helpful.